Well, I'm Ivan Meyer, currently the Minister in the Western Cape on Agriculture. Well, I grew up in the west coast of Vredenburg. I met my wife here in Cape Town. It was a great day. It was 1984. That's a time when there was a severe drought in South Africa, and the then President P.W. Botha called for a prayer day. So the universities had to go home early, and those who worked in government had to go early. My wife was studying, so we all went home early. And that's how I met her during the drought. And I'm now married for 29 years, happily married. I've got two sons, one also studying public administration, the other one studying business management and law. And I'm quite happily married. I love my wife, I love my children, I love my mother. Unfortunately died 2 years ago. And my father is still alive. He was a politician. And I've got two brothers and two sisters, one living abroad in Australia. And I love my family. Yes, I have seen my father is by profession a bricklayer, but I saw him coming as a young boy at school in the West Coast. I saw my father come home, came home at about 1 o'clock. I saw my father taking a bath, putting a suit on, going to the municipality, having meetings. When he came back from those meetings, I read the minutes, and I saw my father was involved in community problems and trying to find a solution. That really appealed to me, and that said to me that it is possible to make a change in the lives of people. And so my father, as a tradesman, as a councillor, as a minister, and later when he retired as a diplomat, I've drawn my inspiration from what I saw in my father. My father was a servant leader, and I respect what he has achieved in his lifetime. And that triggered what I want to do for the people of the Western Cape, but not only for the Western Cape, for the whole of South Africa, because I believe in South Africa. I believe in the people of South Africa, and that is what attracted me to public service. I have packaged 5 broad goals that I want to achieve here in the Western Cape, taking agriculture forward. The number one goal for me is to continue with our structured training in agriculture. We've got the best agricultural college here in South Africa, the best on the African continent at Elsenburg, dating back from the 1800s. I am particularly proud of the agricultural training, but I want to see more agricultural schools here in the Western Cape. Secondly, I really appreciate also that we continue to support our farmers, both commercial farmers and small-scale farmers, because we need both to grow the economy and provide food security. My third strategic objective, very much aligned to the time in which we now live, is rural safety, and particularly farm safety and farm murders. It pains me, my heart bleeds every time when I hear a farmer has been attacked, because I understand the significant and important role they play in the food value chain here in South Africa. So farm safety for me is fundamental. We have now appointed an interministerial committee to look into safety. Rural safety for me is a third strategic objective. Fourthly, I believe in growing the economy. Growing the economy means exporting, and so I will be looking at facilitating market access to our farmers for our agricultural products. My last objective in terms of agriculture is also because we are living now in the worst drought in 100 years. And so for me it is important that we also look at climate change, biodiversity, and the impact of climate change on agriculture. And so in terms of dealing with agriculture, in terms of climate change, I'm looking at innovation, partnership, and technology to put us in the cutting edge in terms of dealing with this agricultural situation as a result of the drought. Well, I've learned from my father. My father grew up in the Northern Cape. My father saw every morning how the generation of his time had black coffee, brown bread, put it in the coffee, and he wanted to change the life cycle in his family. He wanted to break the poverty line in his family. And my father came here to Cape Town. The first thing my father did was to register for an apprenticeship. The German speaks about a duale Ausbildung. So my father used a technical qualification to get a trade. Once my father got a trade, he got a job. My father used the apprenticeship to wipe out poverty in his generation. He got a job. The first thing my father did to invest in our education, he sent all his children to university and to school to study. We took up that opportunity. I went to study, and I'm now teaching my children to study. Both of my two sons are now studying. And I believe the best thing to wipe out poverty in any generation is to take up education.